Billy Graham once said that a coach will impact more young people in a year than the average person does in a lifetime. We at South Central Missouri FCA believe that. A part of our vision and mission is to present ministry opportunities to and through the coach. They are the ones who will get the unbelievable blessing of pouring into these athletes. How they do that is what is important. We want our coaches to intentionally seek what is best for our athletes physically, emotionally, and spiritually. If that happens, then the real building, transformation, and discipleship can happen. Our vision is to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes. Our mission is to lead every coach and athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church.
Brian was always the kid when he was growing up that wanted to see the people that weren't being seen.
And he told me at that point, he said, when I get my degree, he said, I'm coming back to Thayer and we're gonna do an FCA chapter.
Brian and I went to school from 7th grade all the way through 12th grade. We've been together ever since.
It was neat to have Brian as a player, and then for him to come back and then work with us on our staff, made it really special.
Well, he saw the need of the students, especially the athletes.
You get caught up in sports and stuff and kind of forget to bring God into it, and then it really helps bring it back.
He inspired me to be nice to everybody, and he had so much compassion for everybody.
Once he got to know people, he loved everyone. I mean, if you were someone close to him, he wanted to help you, no matter what. That protective part of him became a role in his FCA because he wanted to help the kids.
He told me that he wanted to start FCA because that way some kids have places to go to communicate with, to just know that they're not alone, that they have someone with them at all times.
It started off just us having prayer mornings with the football team on the football field on game day. Well, now we have about 150 kids. You're reaching almost half of the student body. Kids really felt comfortable around him. And I appreciated that. As his dad, I really appreciated the way he bonded with the kids.
I loved him as a person, but the impact that he had on our community was going to be a big, huge hole to fill, and that was the biggest thing that affected me the most, is just this huge loss that he was to the community.
It was probably the toughest spot I've ever been in. How tragic it was, how it happened. It was just the toughest position I've ever been in.
We were on our way to my brother Brandon's college football game. It was a 6-hour drive. So all the way up, I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I wake up to my mom screaming, "Brian." And then I sit up and I see him. He's like, it looked like he wasn't breathing.
And I heard him kind of make a snorting noise, and I turned around and he just had a fixed stare on his face. I called his name and I told George to pull over, something's not right, and I got back there with him and it looked like he was having a seizure.
When I got the car stopped and got him out on the pavement, so Jill immediately, she jumped in and started CPR, trying to get something going.
And they ran a full coat on him at the scene and got him in the ambulance to the hospital, and they told us he didn't make it.
I was actually working out whenever Coach Weber called me. At that moment, didn't really think it was going to be that serious. You hear stuff like that, and he's having some issues, not feeling well, not really sure what's wrong with it, but they're going to the hospital.
He had a sudden cardiac event, is what they ended up calling it. He had a bridge in his heart that they said it could have happened at any point in time.
Honestly, I think I miss him just telling me that, God's got this, we're gonna be okay. Because some days I don't believe that myself.
When it very first happened, you can tell that it really affected everyone, and it's
it's gotten better, but you can tell that people still miss him.
He was caring, and like he was kind of like a parent. He was family to all of us. Like he always pushed us to be better. Like he knew we could do better if we didn't try. He always pushed us and told us, you know, don't watch what you say and do because you don't know whose hero you might be. And he always was just very kind-hearted, and he believed in everyone and anyone.
When he passed, I kind of took FCA over, kind of wanted to do it in honor of him.
I feel like there needs an FCA so that, well, in this small town we have a really small community and we're all family, and I can just help someone out. Even if it's one person, I'm still helping.
And I know he lived by this when it comes to the FCA. We always said if we can reach one kid, just one, then it's worth the fight. But he took it upon himself to try to reach more than one. He really did. He reached out to every kid that he felt like would talk to him. And every kid that just looked like he was having a bad day. And his goal was to reach that one, and he never knew who that one was going to be.
While I was in high school, I was wrestling with a call towards ministry. And so the opportunities that he put me in leadership of FCA were huge, and me following the call that God had on my life.
Like, I've never talked to anybody about a lot of stuff, but he's like one of the people that I felt that I could like actually open up to.
My brother actually committed suicide last year, and he helped me through the tough time I was having through that.
Someone might have to have surgery, and he just helped me through it. He told me to pray about it. He was going to pray for me.
God put him in the right place for us.
What became his mantra, and it's something that I've always told the kids, but he really took it and put it into his FCA program and talking to the kids about simply the fact that you have to make good decisions in your life. Make good decisions because you never know whose hero that you are. I mean, he was a lot of people's hero. Mine to some degree.
God's plans and purposes for our life are firm and set in place for us. Our job at South Central Missouri FCA is to help our coaches and athletes engage, equip, and empower this plan and purpose. Psalm 139, 1-6 eloquently says this: "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. For such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain." You see, we do not know the hour nor the day when our time on this earth may be over. It is our job to make sure that our coaches and athletes understand that their influence stretches way beyond the playing fields and courts, and that their legacy is not what they leave, but how they lived.